Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about how you can survive snowy and icy road conditions when you're RVing. We're not going to be taking a T-Rex today, and we're going to take another vehicle, but just want to talk about tires at first. I mean, this is the tires that are on T-Rex here, and they're a mud and snow tire. They're a little bit softer. They have little snipes in them, and generally I get pretty good traction with it. The vehicle's fairly heavy, so it really, grips into the edges here, and that's the important part of dealing with icy conditions, is having these ridges. And snow tires are a lot more snipes in them. I don't have a snow tire to show you here right now, but we'll go and take a look at another set of tires that we use. I'm going to go on a little trip here. I'm not going to take T-Rex. I'll be taking the Black Hole instead. Black Hole, you enter it and you never know where you're going to end up. But these tires are awesome. These are not a winter tire. These are Michelin's. What are they? I don't even know the name here. But as you can see, they have a lot of snipes in them. And one thing you want to do when you look at these snipes is take a look at how deep they go. Like these ones here, as you flex it back, you'll see that the snipes go deep all the way down to the bottom here. Some snipes on some tires only go down part way. So once you wear your tire halfway down, you're just basically, going on flat spots here. So let's jump into the Black Hole, and we'll talk about some driving tips. So number one driving tip is actually to have a scraper slash broom in your vehicle if you're going to be into mountainous or winter conditions, because you get the frost on the windshield here, and this is pretty heavy on here right now, so it's not scraping very good. You need two hands to do it, but you got to be able to clean your windows. And if you don't have a scraper, you find yourself in an emergency, use your credit card. One of the reasons I'm posting this video is I was online looking at Nomadic Fanatic videos there, and he had one where he has some tire chains in the front of his RV, and I thought, whoa, what's that? So I wanted to take a look at it and watch what he did there, and I guess we just kind of take for granted up here in Canada that we can drive these road conditions and we know what to do, but there's a lot of folks south of the border who probably hardly ever see snow at all, so it kind of prompted me to share. And yeah, so getting back to the tire situation here, if you're going to be going into a situation where you're going to end up with snowy and icy conditions possibly, and you just got summer tires on, like summer tires, they're great for longevity and for a quiet ride, and they're harder rubber and whatnot, but you get into these kind of conditions here with summer tires, and it's going to be pretty slippery for you and nerve-wracking at times, depending on the road conditions. If the roads are clear, well, then you're golden, but really, I mean, if you're going to be spending any time up in these kind of conditions, you need at least a mud and snow type of tire like we have on T-Rex, or the Michelin's that are on this one. These Michelin's are awesome. I've been buying winter tires for our vehicles, and tried the different ones. The Michelin's I found to be the best for a winter tire, but there's other ones out there that are great too. I just haven't tried them all. But anyhow, the tires that we have on this van here and my daughter's car, these Michelin's, they're not the winter tires. They're mud and snow, and but they got a lot of snipes, those little cuts in them. So when you brake on ice, they flex a little bit, and there's lots of little teeth there to kind of grab onto something, and these tires, I'd say, are probably 70-80% even of what the traction of the snow tires are. So to have one set of tires, this is the way I would go. It costs money for sure. They're expensive tires, but they're really good for the truck here. I didn't want to go ahead and be swapping out tires like I've been doing with all the other vehicles. It's a lot of work for me to do, and so here I'm spinning a little bit as I'm going around a corner. I can feel the wheel spin, and I just have to back off on the gas a little bit. Newer vehicles have the traction control. Just let it do its thing. I'll give you an example. We were driving back. We were in BC, and the road conditions were really good, and then all of a sudden, you know, the road, it got a little bit shiny, a little bit glazy, but not too bad. It didn't look that bad at all. And, you know, people were traveling really slow, like, you know, highway speeds 100 kilometers an hour up here at 60 miles an hour. You've got 1.6 kilometers to a mile. So, I mean, they were going and they were traveling at 50, you know, kilometers, you know, like 30 miles an hour on the highway. And I'm thinking, oh man, how come they're going so slow here? And I didn't test the road conditions. It didn't look that bad. And I went to go pass. And as I was beside the other car, I started, you know, fishtailing, going sideways. I mean, I was going at a 45-degree angle to the road, back and forth, oh, at least a half a dozen times, and white-knuckling it. It was, you know, it showed me. And then we went around a big curve or whatever, and a big S-curve, and off one of the S-curves was a semi that rifled right off the road into the trees, jackknifed. What a mess. I mean, another example of conditions like that was my wife's brother. He was passing a person. He had a Ford Bronco, the old smaller ones that they had, and those things shoot off the road just as fast, or sometimes faster than other vehicles, given the tires, because they're great in mud. They got the big lugs and the big openings, but they got huge flat spots, and those are like hockey pucks on ice sometimes. So you got to be very careful with those tires. But he was passing a vehicle on the highway, hit some stuff, whatever, icy stuff, and as he's turning back in, and he ended up doing a 180. So he's flipped right around now on the highway, looking back at the people he just passed, you know, highway speed, right? I mean, I guess he obviously must have all braked, and he pulled out of it somehow. But yeah, it can happen that fast, right? So first of all, you got to watch your road conditions, see what's going on, and if it just is, you know, like totally clear pavement, and all of a sudden you get a little bit of snow, you don't have to freak out, you know, it'll be probably okay. But watch for that black ice, you know, check the temperature, see where it's at. If it's hovering around, you know, the freezing mark, in and out of it type of thing, then you could very well run into icy conditions on the road. And I want to show you how to test the highway, but I got a vehicle behind me.